Good morning. Happy last Thursday for us, at least. I will have you guys on Monday and then Wednesday Zoom, and that's it. So today is our last graded assignment. Today is our last graded assignment on our last unit of nutrition. As I process through this class's grade and my other grades, most of you guys that are here today are doing rather well. There are a few of you that are not doing that great. And again, that just goes down to unfinished, ungraded, or uncompleted assignments and assessments. Very simple. You want to do well in this class, you want to get a good grade this marking period, you got to go on Schoology and get your assignments done. Again, I can't stress this enough. Your Schoology grade is not the correct grade. Your Sapphire grade is the correct grade. So if you're missing assignments, your Schoology grade is going to look higher if you're missing assignments, because it counts that missing assignment as a 10 out of 10 or 100, which obviously you didn't do it. So it should count it as a 0 like Sapphire does. So make sure that you are making sure that you're completing your assignments and that your graded assignment is on Sapphire. It should transfer over, it should sync. I've been checking grades nonstop ever since I came back from the time I took off because my grades were a disaster. But I think that I fixed them, and I want you guys to make sure on your end that it's good to go. I do not want any issues at the end of where I get messages that, oh, I didn't know my grade was this. Everyone should know what their grade is. If at any time, today or next class, you're not sure what your grade is, you can always ask me. Today, we're going to do a lesson on nutrition. And, when I get done and you're working on the assignment, you can ask me questions. That's no problem. Today's assessment is 18 points. It's 18 points. It's a little longer. And just like usual, you can take it up to 3 times to get the highest score. One second. I just realized I was sharing the wrong thing. So let me try that again. Why is it doing that? Here we go. Now let's try it again. All right. Okay, so this PowerPoint will be found in your PowerPoint folder on Schoology. So it's not like you have to go back to the recorded Zoom and find the answers. You can go back to that and do that. After I complete this PowerPoint, I will open up that assignment for you guys to complete. Also, please, keep in mind, those of you at home, I don't see you. I obviously can't see you. Those of you in front of me, I see you. I have eyes. So let's do what we need to do during the last few days of school. And what is in our food? So we're going to talk about some hidden dangers and little known facts about the USA food industry, especially also compared to other countries around here. So we're going to do a little review. Hopefully in the past health classes, you've learned about carbohydrates, proteins, fats. We're going to kind of do a little review. Okay. Protein, building blocks of cartilage, muscle, bone, skin, hair, nails, and blood, composed of what's called amino acids. All right. 1 gram of protein is equal to 4 calories. Now, why is this important to talk about when we're talking about all of these macronutrients? Okay. Which is one of the macronutrients needed for our bodies is protein. A lot of you guys are going through a time in your life where your bodies are changing. Some of you guys might be getting into working out, trying to either build up muscle, maybe tone up, maybe lose some fat. If you don't know about the food you're eating, your bodies aren't going to really be changing as much, because it's about 80% what you eat and 20% what you do, right? You can go run for an hour and lose 300 calories and then come home and have that bite of donut. You ate that donut, that's 300 calories. Well, and that's empty calories. Doesn't really fill you up. I'm going to talk about that. So a protein is a macronutrient. Examples: nuts, seeds, meat, poultry, legumes, eggs, and fish. Carbs, carbohydrates, another macronutrient. This is a source of our energy for our brain and our muscles. All right. What are carbs? Sugars, starches, fiber that's found in fruit, veggies, grains, milk products. 1 gram of carb, 1 gram, man, of a carb is 4 calories. There's different types of sugar. There's glucose, which is immediate energy, quick energy, fast energy, versus glycogen, which is what is stored in our bodies. Our body can store about 2,000 calories of carbs in the liver and in our muscles, and the excess, any extra, is actually going to be stored as body fat. There's good carbs and there's bad carbs, all right? Bad carbs are processed sugars, that quick carbs, corn syrup, artificial sweeteners. Good carbs, vegetables, whole grains, they all have nutritional value that's involved in that. And then we have simple versus complex, all right? And you can see that there. Fat. One misconception about fat is that fat makes you fat. Fat does not make you fat. Fat is another macronutrient. 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. It provides energy. It helps your body do many different things like absorb vitamins. It insulates your body. It's good for your skin and your hair, controls inflammation, and it helps in your brain and blood clotting. My computer is kind of being slow here. Saturated and unsaturated fat. If you ever looked at the back of a food label, you'll see these words. What do they mean? All right. I'm gonna let you guys read that. Good fish, fatty fish is called the good fats. If you ever heard about eating fish like salmon and things like that. Omega-3s, this is a little further out. You can take a look at this later on if you'd like. All right, GMOs, this is what I want to get to. GMO stands for genetically modified organism, all right? A lot of the food that we eat, like corn and wheat, are not the same crops of food that was there years ago. It is changed. What do I mean by that? GMOs were developed to make our food last longer and feed millions of people. And so you can build it and make it in excess and it lasts longer. The problem is we don't really know what GMOs do to our bodies. There's many different studies that show that it could do a lot of bad things. Increase cancer, autoimmune diseases. If you guys have noticed, there's been a lot of issues with gluten lately. More people are gluten intolerant, or they can't really eat bread that much, or flour bothers them, or whatever it is. Could that have something to do with more GMOs in our country? The craziest part about this is, according to the US government, GMOs are not required to be labeled on what you buy. Again, you can take a look at this later, but it's kind of talking about genetically modified organisms. There's like additions of DNA from other species that can be put into your food. These are the top 10 GMO foods: rice, corn, potatoes, tomatoes, oils, dairy products. Monsanto, I don't know if you ever heard of that, but they're the largest producer and distributor of genetically engineered products and herbicides. What's an herbicide? It's a pesticide. What's a pesticide? It's a toxin. That's what's being put into our foods, toxic chemicals. Here are some GMOs. You guys might not be able to see this, so I'm going to read a couple of them to you. Maybe you've heard of it before. Betty Crocker, Bisquick, Cheetos, Coca-Cola, Crisco, Doritos, Eggo waffles, Frito-Lay, Gatorade, General Mills, Graham crackers, Hawaiian Punch, Healthy Choice, Heinz, Hostess, Kellogg's, Kraft. Many condiments and dressings have GMOs in them. Kool-Aid, Lipton's iced tea, Minute Maid, Nabisco, Nature Valley, Oreos, Pepperidge Farm, Pepsi, Quaker, Ragu, Ritz, fruit. Things that are labeled simply 100% fruit, GMO. Stouffer's, Tang, Teddy Grahams, yogurt, Tostitos, Tropicana. Organic food, all right? Organic food features cultural, biological, mechanical practices that foster cycling of resources, promote ecological balance, and conserve. So pretty much this label that's written on this slide is what you want to look for if you're looking for something that's organic. Let's say the title says organic. Organic candy or organic cookies. If it doesn't have this label, it's not organic. And many labels you'll see might say organic and doesn't have this label. It's not organic. How do you know if a fruit or a vegetable is organic? You look for the number 9. If you ever go to the grocery store with your parents one day, pick up an apple, look at the number that's on there, see if it starts with the number 9. Then you'll know it's organic. Organic foods are not processed using any type of synthetic food additives or, addings to it like GMOs are. So here's the example of what I was talking about, like apples, for example. Many of, if you guys go home and you pick up a fruit, see what number it says. Many of them, you guys will see it'll have number 4. That's like a conventional, is grown with chemicals and pesticides. That's the majority of what you guys will buy. Go home and check it out. If you ever get something with a number 8, that's the big problem. And I know a lot of people say the number 9, organic foods, is very expensive, and it's annoying because you want to eat healthy, but it's too expensive and it could be hard. So you go with the number 4. Just know, never go with the number 8. Never go with the number 8. So go home and check it, because if you do and it has number 8, that means it's genetically modified and it's been grown unnaturally. Food additives are not natural. They're toxic, many chemicals. They're added to food. Why? To increase flavor, to increase the look of it, to make it look appealing, make it last longer. Many of these food additives and preservatives are banned in other countries. You can't do this in other countries, but here, why not? Natural flavors. You ever see that written on one of your labels, your food labels? That just means GMO. Let me ask you guys a question. How long do you think the average apple at a grocery store is sitting there? Just a week? Like, Nate, what do you think? How long is the average apple sitting at a grocery store until it's either thrown out or bought? 2 months? If you guys are commenting, I can't see. Maybe you can unmute yourselves. Okay, a week? A month? Anyone at home want to take a guess?
Yeah, maybe like 2 weeks.
2 weeks? 9 to 12 months. What? GMO.
That's nasty.
Watch out for those number 8s. That's what I got to say. Sugar. Sugar is one of the most highly addictive things in the world, and I'm even comparing it to drugs. Sugar is very, very highly addictive. If it's white sugar, it's nutritionally poor. Sugar is actually not white, it's brown, just to let you guys know. The average American eats about 19 teaspoons of sugar a day. That was from 2008. I'm going to go ahead and say that's almost doubled. Here are some names of sugar, because some people, you pick something up and it says sugar-free. Hey, sugar-free juice, that's healthy. Sugar-free, right? So it might not say sugar, but if you look at the back and you look at the label for the ingredients, you might see some of these words here. All of these words are sugar, and that's how they trick you. They'll tell you it's sugar-free, and they'll put a different kind in there, and guess what? They can. They can. That's how crazy it is. So these are just all different words for sugar. You might not even have known that. High fructose corn syrup. It's manufactured from cornstarch. It is made from genetically modified corn. Remember I said earlier, corn and wheat is not the same crops that were made years and years ago. It's modified, it's changed. All right, so I'm just not gonna have sugar anymore. I'm just gonna have my Splenda, my sweet and low. That's healthy, right? This type of artificial sweeteners actually decrease the good bacteria that's found in your gut, in your intestines. All right. Your brain processes these artificial sweeteners the exact same way as regular sugar, the exact same way. And guess what? We talked about how sugar is addictive. Your body is going to crave more, and your appetite is not going to get full. That's why when you guys eat junk food, you're so hungry after school, you didn't eat lunch, you forgot your money, right? You get home, you're like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. The first thing you're going to go to is a high sugar food, candy bar, chips, cereal, right? And you eat so much of it and you're like, oh my God. And then you get full for a little bit. And then what? An hour later, you're hungry again. You don't get full. So listen, I know it can be expensive to eat organic, which is the issue in this country, right? A few things you can do. Read your label. When we're talking about fruits and vegetables, stay away from number 8. Stay away from the GMOs. If you can, try and choose organic, or at least avoid those top 10s that we talked about earlier. Avoid anything GMO wise. Avoid that number 8 when we talk about fruits and veggies. Limit your sugar. Fat does not make you fat. Eating balanced is what's going to help you. All right. This video, and I left it up here, we obviously do not have time. Maybe next week we'll watch. It's the Secrets of Sugar. It's pretty crazy. And we might watch that if we have some time next week, and we'll see how that works. Okay, so today in class, like I said earlier, going into your Schoology right now. Again, this is your last graded assignment. So after today's assignment, you will know your final grade. After today's assignment, you will know your final grade. It is now published. It's called Nutrition Assessment. Again, I believe it's 18 points. You can take it up to 3 times. I might be asking some of you guys to jump in on a breakout room so I can have a chat with you, or I might chat with some of you guys here in front of me. If you have any questions, though, I am here to help.